Dougherty. Today I'm going to be practicing my violin. As I'm getting my stuff together, why don't you hit the subscribe button and the like and the share. I will be back in a few seconds with all my materials that I need for practice. Thank you for watching my warm-up. I'm going to actually start off with scales because that is a good way to warm up my ears. And yes, warm up my fingers to understand the finger patterns that I'm going to be playing. I'm actually going to do G and C today, focusing on those two. So yes, I am warming up not only my fingers, I am warming up my ears in the key of C. And I am turning on a timer for actually, I got a lot of buttons over here. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do that for 3 minutes. I'm in the key of A. I need to go to G. So I'm doing two things right now. I'm gonna warm up my fingers and my ears. get my third finger on one of my strings really fast. Yeah. Alright. About the stopwatch. This stopwatch actually has where you can have just a flash and light flash at you instead of the buzzing noise.
What book are you working in today?
I'm working in my scale book. Alright. Now I'm gonna do the relative minor scale of G major. I'm gonna still put 3 minutes on the clock, and let me just do something. Or did you want just soup?
There's not much of that.
Oh, then do the baked potato too. So we can pour it on top and make it like a loaded baked potato. Okay, so that was my E melodic minor. Now I'm gonna do, still in the relative minor scale and chords. I'm gonna do the arpeggios for my major G and for my harmonic minor, but right now I'm just working on scales and then I'll go into my arpeggios. But right now I am gonna go head into my E melodic minor, and that one is, you always have to remember this one because this one is one of those ones that is like, so I can explain it as I play it and then I'm gonna practice it. So and then you would do your high. So that's all that. And then you're gonna go open. Then you have a sharp. So you have your D sharp. C sharp. D sharp. And then your fourth finger for that open E to complete it out. And then now going back down the scale, it's gonna go. You're gonna bring that third finger right next to your second finger. And then you're gonna bring your second finger right next to your first finger. And then first finger. And then open. And then so that's how that one, I'm just walking it through with you. Let me actually do the same thing. I'm gonna keep my drum on E because I am doing my E melodic minor. I'm gonna put 3 minutes on. Actually, I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna do 3:25 so I can really hone in my fingering. So I'm gonna add 30 seconds just so if I mess up practicing it, I have 30 seconds on the clock extra. All right, ready? I'm gonna stop the drum for a second. I'm actually gonna just do 1 minute on the clock, and I'm gonna go back and just focus on my G, my key major G arpeggios, and then I'll do the relative minor and harmonic minor for that one. So, wait, it's not 2 minutes. No, it's 1 minute and. Let's go fast. So I just finished that. I'm now going to head into my harmonic minors, relative minor scale, which is in the E. So I'm going to start off with. So now, I keep saying so now. I'm gonna head over to my key of C. I'm gonna actually do my arpeggios for the key of C first, since I'm in arpeggio mode right now. I'm actually gonna not dome this. I'm gonna actually just go straight into it. I'm gonna put 3 minutes on the clock and work on the C major scale. Oh. Yes, and they're down here. For this. So I'm now going to change my down to the letter A. And what scale am I working on now? I am working on my relative minor scale, which is the A minor. I'm going to do that for 3 minutes. Oh, wait. Let me just make sure something. my don't do. What's the arpeggios for that? We're gonna actually do the arpeggios for 1 minute with that.
Where's that paper? It's in the car?
Yeah, in the glove box. Walk the side door.
It's in the car. Hold on a second, I'll tell you.
Here. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. So it's So I just worked on just a few scales. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go put my book away. Since I just finished my scales, I warmed up my ear, I warmed up my fingers, and I warmed up my bow hand because as I was doing my scales, I was also watching my bow grip, making sure I was applying the proper pressure. That's why I was doing some of it like this, and some of it here, and some in the middle of the bow. I was trying to work every part. I'm now going to go into a little bit of my shifting exercise that I do, going from first position to third position. So I'm going to actually head into my shifting exercise for that. The first thing I'm going to actually do is I'm going to actually do like a little bit, I'll show it to you and then I'm just going to go jump right into doing it 500 times. I'm going to do open G 2 times. Hear that nice ring, right? I have my third finger down actually on my, on my D string, okay? So now I'm going to now take my hand, I don't know if you can see, and I'm going to shift it there. So I'm going to play this. And you hear how like the shift, like you didn't see, you see my hand move, but the pitch didn't move. My hand just moved. I do this with the drone, and or I do it with the tuner. I like the drone because the drone just has that steady G throughout the whole time. So I'd rather have that steady G because, like, watch. So my drone is on G, right? That's tuned. That's tuned. So hear that, like, that ding match? That's a little bit better. So that's why I like the drum, is because it's just that G's like all over the place. I'm gonna set my timer on for a minute and I'm gonna do that. I sometimes like flicking off the gum. So now I'm going to do it probably, I am going to be putting the timer back on. I'm going to do it 2 times. So now I'm going to head into my next string. I'm going to now do my D. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to put the drum on my D, put my 1 minute on the clock. So now I did that string. I'm going to head into my next string, which is good. Now it's time for that one. I'm going to actually go running it a little bit watcher, and then I'm going to do the next shifting one. Okay, so 1 minute's on the clock. Now I'm on A. I'm gonna start my minute. Let's do 8 minutes. Actually, no, I'm gonna do 4 minutes. So I'm gonna put 4 minutes on the clock because we haven't measured. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do 4 minutes and then I'll do 4 minutes the second round. So what I'm now gonna do for 4 minutes is I was working on my G major in my 3rd position. So I am not shifting back and forth. I'm kind of gonna just stay in one spot. I kind of like playing where I was on my bow, like periodically while I'm practicing, especially the frogs and the tips. That's kind of where I like to go mostly because the middle always is like nice. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna do 4 minutes of just the first row and then I'm gonna do 4 minutes of the second row. Before I play it, I'm gonna kind of go find that's my G. I'm gonna actually drum me to G, and what I'm gonna do, I am learning the bow, so I'm gonna actually, you know what? We'll do 4:30. Changing it all up. 5. I'm gonna hit start and just get started with this one. into the second row, and I'm gonna play that one now. Alright, 2 minutes is on the clock. And then for these next 2 minutes, I am going to sit here and put both rows together. infinite drummer for this one too. I didn't start my timer. That was just a warm up. So that's the end of my positioning practice right now. So I have done my scales, I have done my positioning practice. Oh, I had more scales or no. Those two can go over there. I'm gonna actually do a little bit of song playing, but before I get to that, I'm gonna actually go grab something really fast, and then I'll take it from there.
raining outside. Are you ready for dinner?
Huh?
Are you ready?
Is it done?
What?
Is it done?
What?
Is it done?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna play my song. Okay, I'll start with it. Alrighty, hey, I am back. So I'm actually gonna play. I've been working on a song. I'm gonna actually play that song once, and then I'm gonna end the live. And I will be coming back later on tonight, most likely. So let me practice the song, and then I will end it. Thank you so much for watching me. I had so much fun. Please come back in like a few minutes or subscribe for more. Much love.